What's up, everybody? Justin here to do my NXT TakeOver Toronto review. Maybe you can hear some yelling in the background. I actually have ROH on. New edition of Ring of Honor. I don't know when it was taped. Probably 3-4 weeks ago. I don't know. Maybe it's taped a week ago. Colt Cabana just turned on Don Castle and beat the crap out of him. He's still beating the crap out of Don Castle. So Colt Cabana is turned heel, I guess. Now he's destroying the boys. And I'm going to turn that off because it's distracting. This review isn't about Ring of Honor. I'll watch Ring of Honor probably tomorrow. Anyways, this is my NXT TakeOver Toronto review. Just let me do this real fast. Send a tweet out. Anyways, now I'm going to read my Twitter poll where I asked everybody that watched the show to rate tonight's NXT TakeOver Toronto. Let's see what the poll results are. Here it is. Rate tonight's NXT TakeOver Toronto event on WWE Network. So far, it's rating by number system 1 to 10. I put down a 5. So far, a 5 got 3% of the vote. 7 got 13%. The number 9, rating of 9, got 43% so far. And the rating of a 10, the best there is, a 10. 10 got 41%, 9, 43%, 7 got 13%, and 5 got 3%. So there is my Twitter poll for NXT TakeOver Toronto. Now to the review. Up first was Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger kicked off the show. The crowd was really hype. First we had like a WWE highlight video of WWE's history. Can't speak. Anyways, WWE's history in Toronto, Canada. They have a very long history with doing shows in Toronto and having really big events. They held a SummerSlam there. They held the big event there in 1986 in a giant, I think, baseball or football stadium in Canada. I don't know. I think that's held in Toronto. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's 1986. It's on the network. It's called The Big Event. So that's held in Canada. SummerSlam has been held in Canada. WrestleManias have been held in Canada. And a lot of shows have been held at the Maple Leaf Gardens also. And a lot of shows have been held in Toronto. Or I believe it's called the Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens, I think is the name of the old arena. Now it's the Air Canada Center. Anyways. So, they showed a pretty good video package to open the show of WWE's history in Toronto. Then we had Bobby Roode's entrance. I knew it was going to be something big, something really special, and something pretty damn awesome. It was awesome. Bobby Roode comes out. Before his theme song hits, a choir, a giant group of a choir is singing Bobby Roode's theme. A choir is singing Bobby Roode's glorious theme song. That was pretty awesome. And then his regular theme hits, and the crowd in Toronto is going insane. They are singing every single word of Glorious. Whatever the theme song is called, I'm not sure, but they were singing every word of it. All I know is Glorious is in the song. So, great entrance for Bobby Roode. Out next comes Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10. Ty Dillinger comes out next. He gets a great reaction, great pop from the crowd. Before the match even starts, we had chants of, "This is awesome. before the match even started, both guys getting great reactions. The crowd was chanting before the bell even rang, "This is awesome, this is awesome." And that was pretty awesome. Bobby Roode, most of the match, worked over Tye Dillinger's neck. On the outside, he worked over his neck, brought him back in the ring, hit a neck breaker, kept working over the neck. It was a pretty good match. The crowd was really fired up, really excited for it because it was the first match. And it was the absolute right way to kick off TakeOver Toronto with two Canadian guys facing each other because the crowd ate it up and loved it. So, after the match, or not after, as I said, Bobby Roode, what I saw was he was working over a lot of Tye Dillinger's neck, really working over it. Bobby Roode gets the victory and some pretty good stuff during this match. Tye Dillinger made a babyface comeback. That was good. And then there was at one point there was a ton of 10 chants. Especially when Tye Dillinger started going like this, doing rapid fire forearms to Bobby Roode. The crowd was going 10, 10, 10 every time he hit a forearm. That was pretty cool. And then Bobby Roode hit the glorious, instead of a superplex off the top, Corey Graves called the match great. By the way, Corey Graves and Tom Phillips are awesome together. They are my favorite announce team in the WWE. They work really well together. They are great together. The only guy on the main roster that I like, and that's very good, is Mauro Ranallo. He's great. And the other guy I like on the main roster is Corey Graves. On Raw, he's pretty damn good. He makes me laugh a lot of things he says makes me laugh. But Corey, instead of the superplex, Corey Graves says, "It's better than the superplex. It's a super glorious plex." That was pretty awesome. He says, it's better than a super. It's the glorious plex. And that was a rude superplex off the top, giving it to Tye Dillinger. Then Tye Dillinger puts on a sharpshooter. At one point, he hit a super kick and he almost won the match. But Roode kicked out, and then he puts on a sharpshooter. The crowd went nuts. Of course, because they were in Canada, and Bret Hart is a legend in Canada. So Tye Dillinger had the sharpshooter. Bobby Roode would not tap out. Anyways, Bobby Roode wins, defeats Tye Dillinger. Roode leaves the ring. Tye Dillinger is left standing in the middle of the ring. Gets a great, well-deserved standing ovation from Toronto. Tye Dillinger, the guy should get a lot of respect from the fans because he put on a pretty good performance. But it was expected. I predicted Bobby Roode would win on my NXT TakeOver Toronto predictions, and Bobby Roode did win, and he should have won. If I was booking the show, I would have booked him to win too. But good showing by Tye Dillinger. The match was probably 15 minutes maybe. Didn't feel that long, but that's okay. Up next we had the second match of the night was the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. The finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It was the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering had to go in the shark cage, and it was suspended above the ring, like right in the middle of the ring. That was kind of weird, that he was above the middle of the ring. I thought they'd have him on the outside of the ring, but whatever. Authors of Pain, badass looking team, two really scary looking dudes that could probably kick any fan's ass. And they're just huge, monstrous, massive dudes. And they look like badasses. Like the Road Warriors looked like badasses. Like they could kick your ass. That's what the Authors of Pain look like. So, Authors of Pain taking on TM61. This was the finals of the Dusty Classic. And at one point they had a scaffold to hold up the shark cage. Well, I believe Nick Miller climbed up it, jumped off the scaffolding to the outside, taking out the Authors of Pain. That was a pretty awesome spot. And then the other guy, Shane Thorne is his name. He did some great stuff. He did a flip over the top rope. That was pretty cool. TM61, I tweeted it out when I was watching. In my opinion, TM61 is really underrated. They're a really underrated tag team in NXT. I hope now they get an NXT tag title shot against DIY, because I think TM61 DIY could have some great tag team title matches. Hopefully they'll get a tag title run in 2017 in NXT. If TM61 does not get a tag title run in NXT, well, I hope they go to the main roster then, and they win the SmackDown tag titles or the Raw tag titles in 2017, because they deserve it. TM61 is a great tag team. They are really good, and they're underrated, in my opinion. So, it was a pretty entertaining Dusty Classic Finals. It was pretty good. One point, what did I write here? Paul Ellering at one point throws down a chain. He had a chain in his pocket and he threw a chain down, and the Authors of Pain used it, or they tried to use it. Anyways, Authors of Pain win. They are the 2016 Dusty Classic winners. The Authors of Pain win the Dusty Classic. I got no problem with that, but I was rooting for TM61. And I predicted TM61 would win. I was dead wrong. I don't really care. It was just a stupid prediction. I'm not going to always be right. I should have went with my head instead of my heart. My head would have told me pick Authors of Pain, but instead I went with TM61. Because I just wanted to see them win, because I'm a fan of them. Up next, we had the third match was for the tag team titles. It was 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT tag titles. The Revival was defending against DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. This match was great. This 2 out of 3 falls match was tremendous. It was fantastic. It was 5 stars. Hell, I'll say it was 10 stars. 10 stars isn't even a real thing, but I'll say it was 10 stars. It was a very good tag team wrestling match. It was old school tag team wrestling. It was great selling by both teams. It was great working over body parts. It was tremendous. A tremendous story was told. The tag title match was great. There's not enough good things I could say about it. I could keep going on and on, but I'll stop. The first fall went to the Revival, of course. Of course it did. The first fall went to the Revival. The second fall went to DIY. And they had to get 2 straight falls to stay in this match and to win the tag titles. To at least give themselves a chance. They had to win fall number 2 and fall number 3. So DIY wins fall number 2. Then they win fall number 3. This was a great, awesome spot. Very cool way to end the match with this spot. Johnny Gargano had locked on a crossface type submission move. It wasn't like a crippler crossface, but it was a crossface. And he locked it on. Then I believe, what's his name? Not Dawson. I believe Dash Wilder came in, tried to break it up. But Tommaso Ciampa took him down, locked on a submission also. Same crossface. So both Revival are in the middle of the ring, locked in a submission, facing each other, and they both tap out at the same time. That was a great finish. Great idea to do that finish. To have DIY win, and they are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. This was the first title match of the night. 3 titles on the line. Tag titles change hands. DIY, Johnny Wrestling, and Tommaso Ciampa, the new NXT Tag Champs. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it." I agree. They deserve it. They're a great team. And they are two great singles wrestlers, but they make a better team. So, Revival had a great run. They had a great run as a tag team in NXT. They were tag champs 2 times, the only NXT team in history to be NXT tag champs for 2 times. So I hope the Revival goes to the main roster at least by Royal Rumble and debuts at Royal Rumble. And I would like the Revival to be on Raw, because I like the Revival to face the New Day for the tag titles and defeat the New Day for the tag titles in 2017 at the Royal Rumble. So, I don't know, trade, I said this on Twitter to somebody that tweeted me and I was talking to them. I said trade Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I don't know, I have William Regal make a trade with Raw, with Raw GM Mick Foley. Send Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, send them to NXT. I think they do well there. And it's not, well, I don't know. They could look at it like they're being pushed down because they're leaving the main roster. I don't think they make less money because they have contracts. But NXT would use Gallows and Anderson very well, I think. And I would like to see them in NXT because they're basically irrelevant on the main roster. Unless you want to send Gallows and Anderson to SmackDown, they probably do better there. So, I would like a trade to happen. Just send Gallows and Anderson to NXT and have the Revival show up on Raw this Monday or before the Royal Rumble. Have them show up, feud with New Day, and then face New Day at Royal Rumble for the WWE tag titles. Again, 2 out of 3 falls. NXT tag titles, it was a fantastic 5-star match. And going back to the Dusty Classic, Triple H came out, William Regal came out to present the Authors of Pain with a trophy. Paul Ellering held their arms up in victory, and also Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, was also out there representing his father. So that was cool to see. Now we go to the Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship. I was really looking forward to this match, and Mickie James looked better than I thought she would. She didn't look like she had any ring rust. She looked fantastic. Not only did she look great and damn hot, but she looked great in the ring. She looked like she hasn't missed a beat, and she's been out of WWE for 6 years. So welcome back, Mickie James. It was great to see you on my TV. It's great to see that you're back in the company. I hope you have a 1-year contract so I can see you again. I hope you're back for at least 1 or 2 or 3 years. And hopefully Mickie James getting to work at NXT, hopefully that means she's going to go in the Hall of Fame because she deserves it. I believe she's the first woman to ever win the Divas and Women's Championships. The first to ever hold those 2 titles. Not together, but she was Women's Champion before the Divas title, then she won the Divas title first. So she was the first ever to be Divas and Women's Champion, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Comment under here and tell me if I'm wrong about that. So, Mickie looked better than I expected in the ring. She looked great, like she had no ring rust, as I said. Asuka, what can you say about Asuka? That already hasn't been said. Asuka is great. She's a great heel. I think she's playing a heel. And she's been a heel probably since she defeated Bayley in April at NXT TakeOver Dallas. When she defeated Bayley, she kind of got booed. And the crowd was in shock and didn't know how to react. I mean, I was kind of upset when Bayley lost the title because I didn't really think it was going to happen. I thought it might, but I wasn't sure. Anyways, Asuka's a tremendous, great talent, great worker, great wrestler, has a great look. And she's a badass. She's a killer. And as a killer, as an undefeated champion killer, she should be booked as a heel. And she should stay a heel for a long time, in my opinion. Even if she goes on the main roster in 2017, Asuka should be a heel on the main roster. She could feud with Becky or Bayley or even Sasha, wherever she goes, Raw or SmackDown. So, she could even show up on SmackDown and destroy Nikki Bella or destroy Eva Marie. I would enjoy that if she destroyed Eva Marie and retired her from wrestling. So, Asuka Mickie James Women's Championship on the line. This match, I read, was supposed to be Asuka against Trish Stratus because Trish is from Canada. And she would have got a huge pop if she did return and if she was able to. But Trish is pregnant with her second child. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to her and her husband that they're adding on to their family. That's awesome. I don't think Trish, she could wrestle again in the future. Maybe she'll want to wrestle when she's 40 to see if she still has it. I don't know. I'm sure she'll still look great when she's 40 and probably be in great shape. I don't know how old Trish is now. She might be 36, 37. I don't know. I think Mickie James is around there, 36, 37. I don't know. Maybe she's younger. Maybe she's 34. I don't know. Anyways, Mickie was kind of replacing Trish, but Trish was not able to work because she's pregnant. So I was a huge fan of Mickie James. When she was in WWE in her first run, I was a huge fan of her. I was such a fan of her. I recorded VHS videos. I recorded Mickie James matches, every match of hers. I recorded. And I made best of videos of Mickie James. That's how big of a fan I was of Mickie James. And I also made best ofs of Trish because I was a big fan of Trish. Anyways, Mickie, Asuka, it was a good match. It was well worked. I enjoyed it, but I thought it was too short. I just felt it was too short, and it could have went on 5-10 more minutes, but whatever. Asuka does the Asuka lock, locks it on. Mickie James taps out and is not getting out of the Asuka lock. By the way, not only does Asuka retain, but she is still undefeated. She's been undefeated since she debuted last October at a TakeOver. And I believe she defeated Dana Brooke when she debuted last October. So Asuka's going to be undefeated now for going on 13, 14 months. Who the hell's going to defeat her in 2017 in NXT? Probably Ember Moon. That'd be who I would have defeat her. Because she's like the only babyface that could compete with Asuka. Mickie could compete. She did compete with Asuka, put up a great fight, but Mickie wasn't there to go over. Mickie was there to put Asuka over. No doubt about that. So I enjoyed the women's title match. I just wish it would have been longer. That's my only complaint. Now the main event. After Asuka won and retained the title, still undefeated. The main event was for the NXT Championship. It was Nakamura defending the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe, the challenger. Nakamura's entrance, it was epic. It was fantastic. It was awesome to watch. It was great to hear the crowd humming along, singing along to his entrance. It was tremendous. Nakamura's entrance, like The Undertaker's, to me never, ever, ever is going to get old. It's always going to be awesome. Nakamura, the guy has so much charisma. The guy is tremendous, and he's super over. He is super over in NXT. Anyways, the match, a couple things about the match, couple spots. We had Nakamura using a lot of kicks against Samoa Joe. That was kind of surprising. And then Nakamura started getting his knee. His knee got taken out, like clipped from the front by Samoa Joe. So then Nakamura started getting his knee worked over. And he was really selling his knee. Then we had Samoa Joe try to do a muscle buster, but Nakamura countered it. That's pretty cool. Then we had Nakamura hit his finisher, the running knee or running leg to Joe's head. He hit his finisher, and Joe was knocked out cold, but Joe kicked out. Then Nakamura hit a knee to the back of Joe's head at one point, and when he was by the bottom rope, then he fell out of the ring. He was laid out on the mat, almost like he was unconscious and had a concussion. Hopefully he didn't have a concussion. The ref checked on him. Before that, Joe had a cut above his left eye. And then he got up from the outside ring mat, and the ring mat had a little puddle of blood on it from Joe's cut. So I would have liked to see more blood in the match, but it didn't make the match any worse that there was no blood. But blood would have added to the match, in my opinion, because Joe and Nakamura have had a heated rivalry. I would have liked to see blood, but I would have liked to see one of the guys blade, but no one bladed. Joe just got busted open, I believe, the hard way, above his left eye. So then he gets up from the outside of the ring, and then Joe gets back in the ring with Nakamura, and then Joe tried a Kokita clutch. He actually did lock on a Kokita clutch. Maybe this was before he was knocked out to the ring, but he locked on his Kokita clutch. Nakamura looked like he was about to pass out, but he didn't. He got up, and then Joe covered him after he did a big-time move, and Joe covered Nakamura, and Nakamura kicked out. But then we had, what happened here? Samoa Joe, as I said, he was on the outside, had a cut over his left eye, got back inside the ring, and immediately lifted up Nakamura in a muscle buster. Muscle buster was hit 1, 2, 3, and I was pretty surprised. Samoa Joe wins and is the new NXT champion for the second time. So Samoa Joe is a two-time NXT champion. As I said, I was surprised. Samoa Joe won. I wasn't shocked, but I was like, well, basically this is what I thought. Samoa Joe won because they put him over to basically swerve everybody. Just about everybody thought Nakamura would win and retain. So they went for the swerve and for the surprise. And I don't got a problem with it. It was a big surprise. Samoa Joe wins, is a new NXT champion. I believe they did this finish because every fan thought Nakamura was retaining. Didn't happen. Maybe they just came up with the finish today to give Joe the title back, because maybe Vince wants Nakamura on the main roster. Maybe Nakamura could debut on Survivor Series. I think there's a possibility that Nakamura might show up and do a run-in at the Survivor Series. Why the hell not? Have him do a run-in. Have him make his debut on the main roster. You did that with The Shield. I mean, other guys have made debuts at Survivor Series like The Undertaker and The Shield. And I can't think of any others that made Survivor Series debuts. But have Nakamura run in and make his debut on Survivor Series. I would enjoy that. Have Nakamura do a run-in during Goldberg-Brock, because I think that match is going to be a car wreck. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be a good match, and it probably won't be well received by Toronto. They're probably going to shit all over Goldberg-Brock. I hope they don't, because, I mean, that's just disrespectful in my opinion. You don't got to, I mean, you hate Goldberg, you hate Brock, and if you're not interested in seeing the match, well, don't watch it. Or just stay silent. Don't be really disrespectful. Don't do stupid chants like "this match sucks," boring, boring. Don't do those kind of chants. I mean, just stay silent. Staying silent would show WWE and show Vince that everybody in the arena doesn't care about Goldberg Brock Part 2. I'm interested in it because I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I don't know how the match is going to go. I expect it's going to be a car wreck, and it's not going to be pretty at all. But I would have Nakamura debut, run in, attack Goldberg, not attack Goldberg, have Nakamura run in, attack Brock, beat the hell out of Brock, and then just leave. And then, I don't know, Goldberg tries to defeat Brock, and he can't. Brock would still win, and then you could have Brock, Nakamura at the Royal Rumble one-on-one. Why the hell not? I would be interested to see Goldberg against Nakamura at the Royal Rumble. I think that'd be entertaining as hell. So in my opinion, Nakamura lost because they wanted to surprise everybody and do a swerve because nobody thought it was going to happen. And maybe because Vince wants Nakamura on the main roster very soon. So maybe that's why he lost the title. I got no problem with Samoa Joe winning. I like Joe a lot. I'm a big fan of his. Have been a fan of his for over 10 years. Samoa Joe's great. The guy's a killer. Joe's going to kill you. The guy's a great heel. And he'll be a great champion for the second time in NXT. My rating for NXT TakeOver Toronto, I would give it a 8. 8.5. It was very good. I mean, it's very close to a 9. Very close to a 9 rating. My favorite parts of the show, my favorite matches, number 1 was Samoa Joe Nakamura. That might be a surprise that it wasn't a tag title match, but my favorite match was Nakamura Joe. I really enjoyed it. My second favorite match was a tag title match, Revival versus DIY. My third favorite match of the show was Asuka Mickie James, even though I thought it was too short. Very good TakeOver event. I really enjoyed it. Great night of wrestling at TakeOver Toronto. And then tomorrow I'll be doing a Survivor Series review on the 5-hour Survivor Series show. 1 hour of the kickoff, 4 hours of the pay-per-view. Survivor Series, I feel it's going to drag on too long because it's 4 hours. Just like SummerSlam, the fans got burnt out. They stayed quiet a lot of the matches. And it's 4 hours is too much. Survivor Series being 4 hours is too much. You're going to burn out the fans. You're going to piss them off and make them silent and burn them out. And the show, I feel, may drag on and feel way too long. Instead of 4 hours, it's probably going to feel like a 6 to 7 hour show. But I'll still be doing a review on it. Maybe it'll be 4.5 hours. I hope not, because then I'll be pretty damn tired to do my review. Anyways, I'll be watching Survivor Series. I'll be doing a review on it. I'll be live tweeting it at WWE NXT Guy on Twitter. Also, at least Survivor Series won't be 7.5 hours like WrestleMania 32 was. WrestleMania 32 was way too long, dragged on way too long. The finish was god-awful with Triple H Reigns as the main event. Nobody gave a F, in my opinion. So WrestleMania ended badly, went on too long. So at least a good thing is at least Survivor Series isn't 7 hours, and at least Survivor Series has a lot of pretty good elimination matches that are on the show. So there's my NXT TakeOver Toronto review. Sorry I went on too long. You don't got to watch the whole video. Follow me on Twitter. I'll give my Twitter handle in my description. Comment on my videos. Share my videos. Like my videos. And subscribe to my YouTube if you enjoy my videos. If you enjoy my predictions. Enjoy my reviews. Enjoy my fantasy booking. Enjoy my Ring of Honor pay-per-view predictions and reviews. If you enjoy my TNA reviews, if you enjoy my NXT TV reviews, anything, if you enjoy any of my videos ever, well then subscribe. Bye for now, everybody. I hope Survivor Series is awesome, but I feel it's too long. Bye for now.